All right, guys, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are we? So, let me close this blind 1 second. All right. So, what is it? Tuesday, November 30th, last day of the month, last day of November, right? I'm not mistaken by that, am I? No, last day of the month, November 30th. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a red pre-market, which honestly I'm never too scared of because sometimes that creates the best. Got the sirens going off this morning. Sometimes that creates the best opportunities, the red pre-markets. But the red pre-market is because of just more. I don't even know what to say, guys. I mean, I'm very. It's very annoying. I think it's BS. I think it's just classic media, just being the media. Just keep pumping out this just news about vaccine and causing drops in the market. I just don't get it. It's just really, I think it's really weak. If that could be the word for it. I think it's weak. I'm not gonna believe in this volatility. I'm not gonna panic here. You get an overnight drop of 300 points on the Dow, 1% on the Dow because the Moderna CEO says he predicts, keyword in the title, it says he predicts that the vaccines will not be as effective versus this Omicron virus. So I just think that's ridiculous. I think it's quite ridiculous. I think people are tired of it, to be honest. But we got this is what we live through. So this is what we have to deal with, and this is what we sign up for when we go into the market. So it's annoying. I would have loved to see a nice continuation move on the market. Beautiful comeback yesterday. Very strong price action all day yesterday. Dow looked good. Nasdaq looked good. A lot of really nice strength on some names. And then you get a little bit of this volatility this morning. Now, of course, maybe this is just another opportunity to get a better average price. So we'll see what happens. But that's what we're dealing with this morning. That's why we're dropping a little bit. And we will of course survive to see another day and do what we have to do. So 8:02. I'll wait a second for some more people to creep in. But how we doing? How's everyone doing this morning? Yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday, I got into Unity. We'll go over it. Unity got, I'm losing on Unity, taking a loss. I'm an unrealized loss right now. I was against RK. RK was selling. So it's funny. I got into Unity and I'll show you guys why I got into Unity. It actually looked pretty good. The technicals, I liked the play. And then probably about 20-30 minutes before I got in, it was just downhill. And it felt like there was someone really large selling. I was talking to the chat about this during the day. I said, there is something strange about this price action. Someone large is selling here. There's absolutely no buyers, or at least it's just being flooded with sell orders. The ask was just getting flooded. And lo and behold, it's RK. Or ARK ETFs that sold a lot of shares of U yesterday. So I got caught in Cathie Wood's crosshairs yesterday, but it is what it is. I take losses, guys. If you don't think I take losses, then I don't know what to tell you. What else? UNH was great for me yesterday. In UNH, that's killing it. What else? Nvidia did well. Facebook did okay, but some weird, some news last night into this morning on Facebook. So we'll take a look. We'll take a look at some names today and get started. So director sold. Yeah, there's definitely some selling on you yesterday. So we'll take a look at it today. So here we go. Let's get started. If you guys want, press that early like for me. If you enjoy the streams, if you come here on a daily basis, if you guys want to press that like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and do this. So first, futures. We'll look at the futures as always. Earnings calendar. We have CRM. Beautiful play yesterday. CRM reporting this after hours today. We also have. Let me make sure we don't have. Let me check the economic calendar real quick. Today, Oh, what's this? Is Market Watch going to make me pay? No. Today we have Fed Chair Powell, Treasury Secretary Yellen testify on the CARES Act. I don't think that creates much of a problem. You have Chicago PMI. So I don't think much today on the economic calendar. The CARES Act could have some type of effect on the the virus stuff that's going on. So we'll see. If anyone's unaware, the CARES Act is. I'll pull it up for you. For anyone that's not aware of what the CARES Act is, it's right here. It's the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, also known as the CARES Act. So it's they're going to be talking about that today. Fed Chair Powell and Treasury Secretary Yellen testify on the CARES Act. So I'm not quite sure, what goes on there, but we'll have to see at 10 o'clock, guys. If there's any reaction on the market, just keep that time marked on your calendar. 10 o'clock today, 10 a.m. Eastern time. You do have that. I mean, Powell's not talking directly about the economy, guys. Powell isn't talking about interest rates. Not talking about tapering today. Every time Powell comes on, it's not just about that. This is about specifically the CARES Act. So, maybe there's a reaction, but this is not your normal Fed minutes or Fed economic update. This is a little bit different. So we'll see what it does. 10 o'clock. Keep an eye on that. So that's the economic calendar. Next, earnings calendar. We'll look at that. Stay-at-home trade. So we'll see if the stay-at-home trade comes back today. Those are the ones that are up this pre-market. So in the pre-market today, you have Novavax, Zoom, Netflix, Etsy, Roku, Square, Peloton. Those are the same names that were up when up on Friday of last week when the market was taking a hit because of the virus. So do these stay-at-home names, are they hot again today? I don't know how long that lasts. It might just be a little bit of a pre-market move, but you guys can at least watch those if you'd like. Chips, very hot again. AMD, Nvidia, Qualcomm, great days yesterday. Let's take a look at those. We'll look at Unity Software. I'll show you why I got into it, the technicals of why I got into it and how it worked against me. I take losses. I'm not going to take the loss just yet. I still like the chart on Unity. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. That's what happens. If you expect to be right 100% of the time in trading, if you feel like you can't make mistakes in trading, then you need to rethink that, because you will 100% be wrong at times. There's no way around that. You will be wrong. Crypto names, Mara, Riot, Coinbase. Some nice movement on cryptos recently, I have to say. You have Ethereum this morning, Ethereum up to 46.12, which is big. Beautiful bounce off 4,000. I've actually been adding a lot of Ethereum. I have about 3 coins now. So I've been putting a lot of my money in crypto lately. For better or for worse, I don't quite know, but I'm just buying stuff that's just quality. I've been buying a lot of Ethereum, buying a lot of Avalanche, and I've been dabbling in Mana as well for the whole crypto, or the metaverse. So I've been dabbling in those 3. We'll look at the crypto names today. If you get any movement on these cryptos, I think you watch Mara, Riot, Coinbase. Some of them are actually looking pretty good. UNH. I'll talk about the trade that I'm in on UNH. This is a trade I've been in for about a week now. I love it. It was a great day for it yesterday. We'll see if it can continue today. mRNA. We'll talk a little bit about the biotech volatility that we've seen. Yesterday mRNA dropped intraday, recovered the whole move, and now this morning you get a big drop, and I think it's recovering some because of what the CEO says. So this is what I talk about with headline risk on biotechs. It's just really nasty sometimes. That's why I don't like to trade it, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the volatility. And then finally, Tesla, a very nice hold above 1120 on Tesla yesterday, as well as in this morning, this pre-market, bounced right off 1120. So I really do like that. I really do like that 1120 hold on Tesla. After that, we'll go over what you guys want to look at. So if you guys are a member of the YouTube channel, you can go to the community tab, and you can go to the Google Docs, and you can put in the stocks that you want to look at. So make sure to do that if you are a member of the YouTube channel and you want to if you want to get something for me to look at, a chart for me to look at. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you guys could, press that like button, subscribe if you're new here. Shout out to MSI, the sponsor of our streams. If you guys want to, today's the last day, I believe, for Black Friday. If you guys want to join the Discord chat, if you have any interest, use the code BF30. It's on your screen down below to get 30% off your first 3 months. If you want to join for learning, if you want to join to see, how I trade, how others there trade, to actually learn how to trade, the psychology, the charts, the technical analysis. If you want to be with a group of people that have an idea of what they're doing, I definitely would say that. I think we do really well in the chat. A lot of really smart people in there. If you want to come for that reason, great. If you want to come to copy trades and you want to get mad about when I'm wrong or another member in the chat's wrong, then please do not join. I don't want you to be in the Discord chat if you are going to join just to copy other people. That is not what this is for. This is not a signals chat. This is somewhere to actually collaborate with other traders. If that's what you want, then you can go ahead and check that out. All right, so earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and take a look. Open this. So earnings calendar today. CRM after hours. We'll go over this real quick. CRM after hours. And then tomorrow, CrowdStrike and Snowflake. Those are the two that I'm actually interested in. Salesforce, CrowdStrike, Snowflake. Those three are the ones that I'm actually interested in. We'll see what happens. Five Below and Dollar General are interesting as well because of Dollar Tree. You guys have seen Dollar Tree has been going crazy. So Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Five Below are going to be interesting. And then Salesforce today, CrowdStrike, and Snowflake. Those are going to be ones on my radar. So that's that. Let's go ahead and jump into the Nasdaq, guys. Let's get into singles chat. Let's go ahead and get into the charts here. That's what we're here for, right? So the Nasdaq. It's a tough spot, right? We had a nice recovery yesterday. We actually went above, or we actually equaled the Thursday after hours, Thursday futures, you can call it futures or after hours, and then Friday morning drop that we saw last week, we actually equaled that whole move. So we made up that entire move on the Nasdaq, and now today we're giving about a little bit of it back, not quite that much, a little bit back there, and we're trying to hold the 20 SMA as we speak. So you guys can see, if I zoom in on this chart, you can see the 20 SMA is right here. You can see how we are holding that 20 SMA actually pretty nicely, I will say. So if we hold that 20 SMA on the Nasdaq, I am slightly confident here that we hold up. That is what I'm liking. That is what I want to see here on the NQ. So if we break this down to a shorter term time frame, you guys can see the very nice double bottom that we got here at 16,000. You guys can see it right here. 4-hour chart, 16,000. Nice little double bottom. At this point, guys, it's pretty easy, right? When do you become a bear on the market here? When do you become a little bit more hesitant to go long here? It's if you break below 16,000. It makes it very easy here, right? This chart is pretty easy to know how the tides will turn. When does the tide turn a little bit more bearish? It's when you break under 16,000. If you break under this 16K, then you can't ignore the fact that the tide will definitely shift to the bearish side. That's very easy to look at. You can see it here on the charts. Very clean, 16,000. If we break below that, it's very easy to know whether the tides are changing. So that is your indicator. If you're a bear and you want to try to bring this if you want to play this to the downside, or if you're just being cautious, the 16,000 level, that is your level. So right there at 16K on the Nasdaq, QQQ, that level is, guys, it's very easy. The chart's the exact same. Just go to the QQQ and look at it. So 390, right? That's the exact same level. The chart is identical. The QQQ and the Nasdaq are the exact same charts, just with different numbers, basically. So 390 on the QQQ, the Nasdaq 16,000, very, very clean. That is what you want to be looking at. So 16K, that's the level. Now to the upside, you guys can see, where did we reject? It's very, very clean as well. You could call it this 16,390. You can call it 16,4 if you'd like. If you just want to make it, a very clean number, 16,4, that's the resistance. So we need to get above that 16,4. Is this the making of an inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart? I like inverse head and shoulders. When I see them, I get very bullish. Is this the making of an inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart? Left shoulder, head, maybe a right shoulder today. Even if we drop a little bit more, you could still consider this a right shoulder. If that holds up, this could be a very nice inverse head and shoulders, which is a bottoming formation, which is a bullish formation. The last time we saw any type of inverse head and shoulders on the market, it was right here, guys, on the ES. We called this out on the channel. Right here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, downtrend breakout. This is when we said the market was going to move higher, and that is exactly what we got there. Inverse head and shoulders, downtrend breakout. So, are we getting? It's similar. It's not the same, but are we getting an inverse head and shoulders here? Very similar to what we did here, potentially. I am definitely going to be watching that. If we get that move, I like for upside. But we need to break 16.4. We have to break that. If you don't break that, I just don't think you can be ultra bullish here. You know, playing in this channel is a little bit questionable. This is where you take maybe a little bit less risk because you don't quite know. If we are to break this 16.4, that is when I would say, you know, you can put on maybe a little bit more risk if you are willing to play. You know, if you're willing to take that risk, if you're someone that's, you know, willing to take the potential loss, that is when I would say you put on a little bit more risk. When you break the 16.4, when you get a clear break, maybe even a retest, if you get something like this, then I would say, yeah, it's probably time to put on maybe a little bit more risk to the upside. But until then, you got to be cautious here. There's no way that me or you or anyone that you listen to on YouTube knows what's going to happen right here. This is very sideways. This isn't a channel. We have an upside channel. We have upside resistance at 16.4, and we have downside support at 16,000. So we have about a 400-point range that we need to see what happens here. I would be patient. I would wait to see where the breakout occurs or the breakdown occurs, and I would just keep an eye on this inverse head and shoulders that could be forming. So that's the Nasdaq. Those are the levels that I would be watching today, guys. Here's the ES. Very clean double bottom on the ES. You guys can see that right here. 4-hour chart, you have 45.80. Bottom this morning, and you can see the double bottom that has formed. Now, can we hold this double bottom? That is what I'd be watching. Can you hold this double bottom on the ES? That is going to be the key. When do the tides shift? When do, you know, the bears get a little bit more strength? It's if you were to break down below the 45.80, and even if you maybe even get back down to this 45.50, right? That's still the strong support that I like on the ES. You guys can see this big support, previous resistance here. I think that becomes support if you move down into it. If you were to get that move down to 45.50, I think that definitely becomes some very nice support. But in the short term, definitely 45.80. 45.80 double bottom. If we lose that, I think you get a little bit more downside. So watch that 45.80 on the ES. To the upside, guys, we talked about this resistance, right? We talked about this exact level. This whole level here is going to be tough on the ES. We talked about it in a previous live stream. We put the red box around it. If you remember, we put that red box here. Why did I put the red box? Because this is previous support that turned into resistance. That will definitely turn into resistance again, and it definitely did. So this is your range on the ES, 46.60 to 45.80. So that is your range. That is about a 80-point range, right? So about an 80-point range on the ES. That is what I would be watching. All right, that's the ES. The Dow. Dow's ugly, man. The Dow is the ugly one, and we talked about this, right? The Dow is the one that's going to get affected the most. There's no doubt about it. So the Dow, if we go to, let's just take this time frame here. Let's take since the previous drop right here, this little inverse head and shoulders right here. The Dow's the ugly one. So, do you buy this here? I would say no. I wouldn't be touching the Dow here. I don't know if I'd be too confident on, some stocks that are very susceptible to vaccines or virus stuff. So, your Boeings, your airlines, your cruise lines, your amusement parks, anything that, you guys logically know would get affected by a shutdown, which, I hope never happens again. Anything that gets affected by something like that is most likely in the Dow Jones and will cause more downside on the Dow, and that's why the Dow is the weakest of the three futures there. So you get continued downside here, a really nasty drop again overnight, 1% drop because of what the mRNA CEO said. It's just total nonsense in my opinion, but you have to live with it. So you get a little bit of a drop. You're trying to hold this 34.6, it seems like. If we go to the shorter term time frames, you guys can see you're trying to hold this previous low from yesterday. This is yesterday's low. I'm sorry, this is Friday's low. So it looks like you're trying to hold Friday's low right there. You guys see that right there? That's Friday's low right there. If you hold Friday's low, maybe you have a shot of moving back up. But, you need to hold this Friday's low for sure. You need to hold this 34.6. That's what I'd be watching, 34.6. You can call it down here if you really want, but I think if you break 34.6, you're coming back down there regardless. So 34.6, 34.5, some really important levels here in the Dow. I would not be a bull here. This is clearly a downtrend. This is clearly weak. I would be focusing, if you're looking for upside, I would be focusing on the tech names, the stay-at-home names, Netflix, Zoom, those names for now. See how the chips perform. See how tech is resilient to this move. I'm staying away from the Dow names for the most part. UNH is performing for me, so I can't say that 100%. But if I start to see weakness on UNH, then I'll be out of it too. So that's that. Last but not least, RTY. We can quickly go over it. As I said, guys, I'm not really interested in small caps because it is back in this channel. Small caps are back in a channel that it's been in for a year. I have no interest in RTY anymore. There's just nothing here to play, in my opinion. You're back in this channel. When stocks are in a channel, when anything's in a channel, I stay far away from it. I have no interest to be trading in channels. So that's that. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but that's just me. So that's the Nasdaq, the ES, the Dow, and the IWM, or the Russell 2000. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for you guys. If you would like to press that like button, that would be great. Let's go ahead and move on to the stay-at-home trade. So first, we're going to look at Netflix. Netflix is up in the pre-market today. It's up about, the ask is up about $6. The bid is up about $3. So you got a little bit of a bid and ask spread there, but it is up in the pre-market. Now, what do I like about Netflix? One, I like that it's resilient to any of this nonsense that's coming out in the news. That is something that I do like. You can have a little bit of confidence that there maybe is some resiliency on Netflix with any of this nonsense coming out. So you have a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3, triple bottom at previous highs. I like that. Can you push above 675? That is the big question. 675 is the question. So if we can see a break over 675, that is what I would be interested in seeing if we could play. You can see the last time that we pushed into 675, we had a pretty nasty rejection. So can you break this little flag? Can you hold up here, this little flag on the hourly chart or 30-minute chart? You guys can see it right here. Can Netflix, it's holding this previous high very nicely. Can it break out? It looks like it's starting to break out today. Do we get that push through 675? That is what I'm going to be watching. So 675 on Netflix. If you break that level, I think you get upside for sure. I think you get upside right here. Can you go? Can you move up to 675? That is what I'd be watching, guys. Netflix should have a little bit of help from the stay-at-home trade. Next, we can look at Zoom. Zoom's another one that gets a little bit of help from stay-at-home. Let's go to the daily chart just to get a really big perspective of this. On the daily chart, guys, this is not a stock that I would touch. It's clearly in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend for over a year now. It's a stock that's slowly just selling off. Not something that I would be interested in long term. Maybe you get a little bit of a push today. We can look at the short-term time frames. You can see that Zoom has been holding higher lows over the last few days. So you can see this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. We missed Thursday, right? And then Monday yesterday. So you had lows here around 196. You continue to hold these lows. You can see these previous highs turned into support right here. You guys can see how previous highs, 1, 2, turned into support. This is very short time frame. Remember that. This is only over the last 4 days. And then you started to move higher. So can Zoom get another push today? That's what I'd be looking for. Maybe you watch out for some resistance up here, maybe in the 230s, 235s. But maybe it gets a little bit of sympathy today off the new vaccine stuff that's coming out. So keep an eye on Zoom. See if that gets a push today. That's something that I would definitely be watching. Zoom and Netflix, probably my top two. If you do see a stay-at-home trade start to sort of come together. I just got an alert from CNBC. Cyber Monday online sales dropped 1.4% from last year to 10.7 billion, falling for the first time ever. Oh, great. That's great. Seen any reaction to that? Shopify. Amazon getting a drop? No, it doesn't look like much of a reaction just yet. Let me know if you guys see any reaction to that news. Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales drop like 1%. So, all right, what were we looking at? We were looking at Zoom. The other two that maybe you could watch are Peloton, but Peloton's been a mess. And maybe Etsy, Square, Dash, all are performing pretty well this morning on the stay-at-home trade. But I'd probably watch Zoom and Netflix would be my two that I would watch. XRT, retail ETF, yeah, taking a little bit of a hit. Okay. All right, so that's the stay-at-home moves. Chips. Yeah, that's true. Last year was probably a historic number due to the state. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good way to, that is exactly how headlines can be taken out of context, right? Because we are down 1% from last year, but last year, I mean, I don't remember the exact headline last year, but I'm assuming that CAJ trader, cash trader, is correct about this. I'm sure last year was probably huge because of everyone at home. So that's sort of a good thing to remember. That's probably a news article that can be taken out of context. If you don't remember what happened last year, I'm sure last year was pretty hot. So NVIDIA, perfect, guys. NVIDIA was perfect yesterday. There was just, it just does everything that you want it to do. NVIDIA, it continues to be just an awesome stock to own, to trade. Everything about NVIDIA is just great. NVIDIA, we talked about this hold here at 313. You can see break, retest, 313 hold, and we had a beautiful push yesterday above 327. If you hold 327 today, this is very, very bullish. Look at how NVIDIA pulled back this morning and held this 327 resistance beautifully. I really like that. You can see break, retest, 337 hold, or 327 hold on NVIDIA. That is perfect. So I like NVIDIA there. I like that 327 hold. You can see this was previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance, and look at what it's doing now. Look what it's doing now. So resistance, 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 break and retest. Very nice, very strong hold. I like that on NVIDIA. We'll see if it can hold up. I do want to show you NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. No, NVIDIA's earnings are past, my guy. No NVIDIA earnings. I want to show you one thing yesterday, and this was a beautiful trade that some of you guys caught. If you're in the Discord chat, you already know this, but if you are not, this was a beautiful trade that that I think a few of you actually took. I know Shadow took it. If you're here, Shadow, you took this beautiful trade. So the first beautiful trade on NVIDIA was this absolutely gorgeous double bottom in the beginning of the day. So you have this bottom, you have a pullback, you have the double bottom. That is such a great buying opportunity intraday. I'm very sad I missed that. Beautiful move. Now, the next buying opportunity was this break and retest intraday. You have previous high of day right here. You got through it here at 327. You guys can see not only is this previous high of day, this is that 327 level that we just talked about on the hourly chart, right? You guys can see. You see this green box right here? This is 327. This is a very important resistance level. So what did NVIDIA do intraday at that resistance level? It broke through, it pulled back, and it retested it. And look at the perfect support that it created here at previous resistance. Previous resistance on the hourly chart turned into support intraday at 327 right here around 1 o'clock, 1:15, 2 o'clock. That is where I know some of you guys took this trade. A little bit of a flag breakout. This is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous trading opportunity. So I know I sent it in here. I don't need to prove it to anyone. If you go to if I can find it really quick, I'll pull it up. But I'm not going to waste my time. I know you guys saw that move yesterday on NVIDIA. That's what makes me just some of us were talking about, why don't we just trade NVIDIA every day? Why don't we just trade NVIDIA every single? Here we go. I found it already. So here you go, guys. So if you want to join the Discord chat, it's not just about following trades, right? It's about us looking at intraday moves. So here is NVIDIA. This is yesterday at 1:33, guys, in the Discord chat, right? This is our main trading chat. I'm going to zoom in really big so you can see. This is the chart that I sent, and I'm not going to just say this to toot my own horn, right? I'm saying this to try to help you see these things intraday as well. I'm not just doing this to make you try to join or do all this stuff. I want just to show you what this looked like before it actually occurred. What did this look like if we're not actually looking in hindsight? Because hindsight can be very easy, right? So here is NVIDIA. Yesterday at 1:33, I went ahead and sent this chart. I sent it in the options chat. This is not a trade alert. This is just sharing a chart and making sure that people are looking at this and they can learn from taking their own trades on something like this. So here it is. This is NVIDIA at 1:33. You guys can see this is right here. You're starting to pull back right to this previous retest zone. I had the retest zone built out at 327. You pull back to it. You create the little double bottom. You have the flag. Once you break out of that flag, perfect break. You can see it right here. You break out of the flag, and ever since the flag breakout, you hold up and you move to new highs, and you have a beautiful run into end of day. So just looking for those things intraday, guys. That's the key. Can you find these setups intraday? This is why I made my video about stop trading the open. I know a lot of people got mad at me for saying that, but you do not need to trade the open. You can find these setups intraday that are so clean. This is a perfect trade setup on NVIDIA. I didn't take it. I was sort of just managing my swing trades yesterday. I didn't want to put on more risk. I already have a pretty large amount of risk on my portfolio, enough that makes me, on the edge of taking more positions. So I didn't take it. I can say all this stuff, and you might say, oh, well, why didn't you take the trade? Well, I'm just managing my portfolio. I wasn't in the position to take this trade, but this was perfect. This is a beautiful example of an intraday break and retest, an intraday setup that is very clean and easy to find. Instead of being emotional and trying to trade NVIDIA here at the open, like trying to catch this move, then getting dumped on, trying to catch the next move, then getting dumped on again, why not wait for an actual setup like we saw there on NVIDIA? I love it. I love that setup. I'll try to look for those setups any time of the day. And I'm very happy that some of you guys caught it, because I know some of you did. So awesome. That's just a little bit of a trade recap or a little idea, just to show you guys what I sort of look for intraday. So that's NVIDIA. That is the chips. We can quickly look at AMD. So here's AMD. Another beautiful trade yesterday. Let's see if it did something similar. AMD wasn't as clean, right? Because you can see the previous high a day. Not really as clean there, right? So AMD a little bit more difficult. But AMD nonetheless, another nice chip name. You can see actually this morning, look at this. Look at how we held this previous high pre-market today. So look at that. That's what I'd be watching. That's what I'd be watching. 159. Okay, next, Qualcomm. Another big move yesterday on Qualcomm. If you were to play that video, played on the video, what option would you? It depends. Saved by the bell. Depends on your plan. Is your plan to just day trade it? If it is, I would just take the shortest expiration and buy at the money calls. So I would have bought the end of week. So December 3rd. December 3rd, I would have bought probably the 3:30 calls and just day traded that. If I was to swing trade it off that, I'd probably take like a February or March, 3:35, 3:40 call, something like that. So it depends on your plan, right? Everyone's plan, everyone's trade's going to be a little different. How do you want to trade it? That's what you need to decide before you get in, before you enter. Don't go buy a Friday expiration if you want to go ahead and swing trade it. Then you're just putting yourself in a terrible situation. If you want to swing trade it, you got to buy far out. We pay. It's every month you pay is going to be 30% off. 3 months. So Qualcomm, another strong one, guys. Keep an eye on it. That's what I would watch. Just watch these 3 chip names. All right, we got to move on. Unity Software. So, yeah, I got screwed yesterday a little bit. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I don't care. I'm not someone that claims to be right 100% of the time. I'm not, I'm not some internet phenomenon that, just like, oh, this guy's always right. It's not who I am. I'm a very honest person, and I was wrong yesterday on Unity. So be it. So I'm in it still. I liked the setup that it had. I bought some December 17th 190 calls for $7. I think I'm down around $400. So Unity, this is why I purchased it yesterday. So you had actually, I'll just show it to you guys here on the charts. I'll show it to you here on the charts. Here we go. Let me zoom out. All right, so here's why I actually went ahead and purchased Unity yesterday. The first reason was because I liked the 20 SMA on the daily chart. I liked the 20 SMA on the daily chart. I thought it would hold up, right? I thought we were going to get the 20 SMA hold. That was my first thing. The second thing was I was watching this previous retest here at 166. Previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. A little bit of a triple top, 1, 2, and 3. I was looking to see if you can hold that level. Now, you are technically holding that level still. You are still holding that level. So, we'll see what happens. The reason I got into it where I did, which was not the best entry, was because yesterday, if I go to the 1-minute chart, which is probably not the best chart for me to find an entry. I think it was actually on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so here was the 5-minute chart. And what I saw yesterday before I entered was I saw us holding this previous high. So we, at the time of my entry, we were holding this previous high, this previous resistance point over the last few days. If I zoom in here, you can see, actually, let me go to the 1-minute. Here's the 1-minute chart. This is what it looked like when I was entering, right? So I was entering here looking to see if, if Unity could hold here at this 182. You guys can see how it was starting to hold. I was looking to see if it was going to flag back into it and try to hold this 182. Now, what was the significance of 182 again? I'll show it to you right now. Here on the 30-minute chart, you can see the 182 was the previous highs. You can see 1, 2, 3. I was looking to see if it can hold those previous highs. Now, I was wrong. It did not hold. I got caught in ARK selling. So yesterday was just an atrocious day for this stock. It was straight down. And ARK was selling like almost, I think it was quite a bit. ARK was selling quite a bit of shares. You got this nasty intraday drop. I'm assuming they unloaded a bunch of shares right here. And you just continued to move lower and lower. So, it sucks. I was wrong. I thought it looked good. Intraday, I thought that the setup technically was right, but sometimes, I get this is I got the real reason that it didn't work out was because of ARK. I mean, I know it sounds like an excuse, but that actually is why Unity dropped yesterday. ARK unloaded out of all their ETFs, Unity software, this stock. So, it sucks that I got caught in that, but it is what it is. Now, I will say on the weekly chart, this is the weekly chart. I still am not that, I still think in the long term that we actually do end up holding here. It depends on how patient I'm going to be and how much I'll be able to sit in a drawdown on this play. But I really do believe that Unity could do a little bit of a retest here, 166 area maybe, and start to hold up at this level. So we'll see what happens. I could be totally wrong, but that is Unity, guys, and I'll always let you know when I make a mistake or when I'm wrong, and you learn from it, right? This is what you learn from. Yanko, you get charged every month. So you get, the first month, say it's $44 usually for the Discord chat a month. So if you take 30% of that, what is that? That's 4,812. That's $12 off. So that's about $32. So you're going to pay $32 this month. You're going to pay $32 next month, and you're going to pay $32 the month after. After the first 3 months, you're going to go and get charged the normal $45. So the first 3 months that you pay are going to be 30% off. After that, it goes back to normal pricing. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, crypto names. Mara Riot Coin, 4-hour chart. I would be watching here this 4-hour chart on Mara, guys. So you can see support. That is the level I'd be watching. I know it's not the most beautiful chart. I know it looks a little bit nasty, a little bit of a head and shoulders maybe, but if you get a crypto move, maybe you get a hold here at this 48. So I would watch Mara for a crypto move. I would also be watching Riot, because Riot actually is holding up pretty well also. You can see Riot actually is somewhat holding this uptrend. You can see right here. So you can see this little Riot uptrend that's holding here on the 4-hour chart. So I'd be watching Riot here, maybe for another test of 40. And then I would also be interested in Coin here. Coin is actually creating a little bit of a flag pattern. You can see that it's been holding up at this 308, 310 level. So you can see 1, 2, and 3. Nice little support. And then you can see a nice little downtrend hold. The price keeps increasing. Yeah, because a lot of people are joining, and I don't need it to be, I don't need it to get out of hand. So the price is going to keep increasing with the demand. That's just how it works. I don't want it to be too big, because then it just becomes an absolute shit show, and I'm not about to run a shit show. That's not something I'm going to put my name on. It's going to be quality. I'm more about quality than quantity. But anyways, Coin, you have a nice little 1, 2, 3, nice hold, 308, 310, a little bit of a downtrend. I would be watching this. This could be very interesting on Coin, but I think you're going to need a crypto move. You're going to need something on Bitcoin. Going to need a Bitcoin pop. Ethereum's been moving this morning, but that is definitely interesting. This little triple bottom, little flag. I would watch Coin if you get any type of crypto movement. All right, UNH. So I got into UNH. I'll show it to you guys here. I got into UNH on the 23rd of November. You can see it right here. Right there. Took a small UNH play, December 3rd, 455 call. What? I don't understand what's going on. What are you talking about? Do I have $10 and you're confused? Okay. Anyways, taking a small UNH 3rd, 455 call for 335. I like this play because it was holding this retest. You can see this is the Dow retest. And then Yeah, you're locked in at the price you join, guys, on the Discord chat. It never goes up. It never goes up for you. If you got in at $5 when it was $5, you're paying $5. If you get in at $10 when it was $10, you're never going to pay more. So you're grandfathered into the price you join. UNH, I like this play. This is when I got into it. You guys can see it on the chart there. I'll put it right up there. You can see UNH, little pullback, nice little push higher at 432. I like the play. So 432 is where I got in. We can see UNH here on the daily chart. Beautiful little bounce. I love this little setup here. So I got in here on this day, the 23rd. It's up nicely. Yes, you just get charged the first month, Yanko. Let's see. What am I up on UNH? I don't have. Let me see. I'm not gonna take. I think I'm up like what I get in. I get in at 335. What's the options? We can just check the options chain. That's easier than me opening up this interactive. What are we at? All products. UNH. December 3rd. I don't think it's like a ton, but it's pretty nice. It's a nice little gain. 455 call. Let's see. It's up about, the spread is pretty big here in the after hours. The ask is at 470. We're up about I think we're probably about a point up per contract. I like the play. I think if the Dow can find any type of support today, I think UNH continues. It's been very strong regardless of the Dow movement to the downside. So I like this little move here on UNH. We'll see if it can continue. You have the 20 SMA as resistance here that I'm going to be aware of. But I really like the daily chart. I'm going to see if we can break that 20 SMA today. That's what I'm going to be looking for. I know we're down a little bit in the pre-market due to that Dow slippage, but we will see. How this works out. But UNH, I'm in it small. Probably going to have to sell it probably today or tomorrow. We'll see if I can take a small profit there. mRNA. So some crazy volatility. I just don't like this chart one bit. You guys can see. Look at these gaps on the daily chart. It's just really nasty. I mean, look at this gap. I mean, this is just really not a chart that I would like to try to guess what's going to happen the next day. You can see these gaps mean that there's just crazy after-hour moves. These are all after-hour moves to the upside or downside. It's just very difficult to sort of judge what's going to happen. Now, on the this is the 1-minute chart yesterday on mRNA, and for some reason intraday, I think there was some news. This thing dropped just about 5% in like 2 minutes. So you had a random drop of 5% right back to the upside. So a little V-shaped recovery there intraday, and then you get the CEO. You know, right when you thought this thing was going to be hot the next morning, you get the CEO that comes out and says that he doesn't know if it's going to be an effective vaccine towards the new variant. So really hard to sort of guess what's going to happen here. mRNA, just a lot of volatility, guys. Just be careful here. Be careful on these biotechs. All right, Tesla. I'm quickly going to show you Tesla and then go quickly to maybe some of the stocks that you guys want to look at. We're running out of time, but so be it. So here's the 30-minute chart. Here we go. So 30-minute chart. Let's go to the 15-minute. You might see that a little bit better. Here we go. So here's 15-minute, guys. Right here. So here's Tesla on the 15-minute over the last 4 days. You can see we previously had some pretty nice resistance here at 1120. And then yesterday we turned that resistance into support. And this morning we're holding it as support as well. So I like the fact that Tesla is now holding 1120 as support. I think you watch that. And I think if you get over this 1142, I think this could definitely have some legs to it. Looks like a little bit of a stair step higher. And if you can hold 1120 and push over 1142, I think this thing pushes back towards this, into this little gap up here, into this consolidation up here. So watch 1140 today. See if you can get over it. That is what I would be watching there on Tesla. All right. I'm going to quickly run over, I'm going to choose, let me choose 5 that I like. So I'm just going to do the first 5. Or I'll do Roblox, Facebook. Let me try to get to all of them. I'm just going to go quick, guys. LRCX, Lamb Research. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's just look at the dailies on these. So I think we looked at this before, and whoever this is, it looks like we're just pushing through this high. So yeah, just a beautiful little breakout here in Lamb Research. I would just look for continuation. So that's all I could say. Beautiful first day breakout here yesterday. Maybe there's continuation. Big resistance at 655 that we got through. So that could definitely continue. I'd watch that. Datadog. I like this little retest. That's beautiful. You can see this. That's actually a perfect entry if you got in there. That is a beautiful entry on Datadog, or Datadog, however you guys say it. You can see nice previous highs turned into support. Just watch out for 20 SMA resistance. You can see these wicks. Look at those wicks at the 20 SMA. Look at every time it hits that level, it wicks. So be careful there. But I will say, this retest, this gap fill, looks very nice here. You can see a little gap, retest, fill the gap, hold at 170. I like that. That looks good. Shop. Shop is back at a demand zone here. I would see if it can hold. Right here, guys. 1550. You can see I already have it drawn out. 1550. See if that holds. That's what I'd be watching on Shop. XPEV. EV. Does EV stay hot? I don't quite know. You have to see. I would say you wait for XPEV to pull back to the 20 SMA. I wouldn't buy XPEV unless it's at the 20 SMA. Why? Because every single time it pulls back to it, it gives you a beautiful buying opportunity. 1, 2, and maybe a third time. I'd look for a 20 SMA pullback there. NEO, same thing, just EV. I wouldn't trade NEO. It's completely sideways. That's not something I would trade. Facebook, 4-hour chart. I'm just watching this uptrend. That's all I'm watching. Keep an eye on this uptrend right here on the 4-hour chart. That needs to hold. Coin, we already did. Roblox, last but not least. Roblox, a nice day for Roblox yesterday. I'm in, here's what I'm in on Roblox, guys. Right here in the Discord chat, as always. I am in some December 135 calls and February 130 calls. So I'm in some Roblox. I'm in with decent size. Let's see what happens. But I really am liking this move. I got in on the 24th, which is back right here. On the day that we bounced off this retest level. We talked about this retest level in the live stream. I took a play off of it, and I like the hold that we're having. So I'm in Roblox. I like the move. I would definitely be looking for more upside over the next few weeks. I don't see any reason why Roblox doesn't continue higher. I think Roblox has everything going for it right now. It has the metaverse trade. It has a stay-at-home trade. It had killer earnings. I think Roblox is definitely one that I'm quite bullish on. So, you know, you got to make your own decision, guys. I'm a bull on Roblox. I'm in it with some longer dated contracts, and I think this continues. Personal opinion, I could be wrong. Finally, that is it. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you guys again. If you guys would like to help support the live streams, if you're enjoying them, press the like button, guys. That's all you need to do. Can we get to like 400 likes? Seems like the views are starting to drop off a little bit. Maybe people got a little upset with me, but we're hitting like, I think 850, 900 now. We were up to 1,000 at one point. So if you guys want to help grow the live streams, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, let your friends know if you want to come hang out here in the morning, get a good review of the market, pre-market. Shout out to our sponsor, MSI. Going to be doing a giveaway with them soon. Little phone holder. See this? Very nice. Right on my desk. Shout out to MSI. If you want to see any of the products that I use from them, check out the link down below. If you want to subscribe, do it. Press the button down below. If you want to become a member of the live streams, you can press that join button that you see below the video. That gives you access to our Google Docs, where you can put your tickers for me to look at every morning. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you in the next live stream. Press the like button. Have a great day. Peace out.